believe me, just watch.
We should put this back. This is great. We're here with Remy Rotanier, and you're the president of Remy Design, and you brought in some very amazing things here. These little pieces of jewelry are just stunning.
And this is the first time we actually show them, so I'm very excited.
Oh, we're the first ones to get these?
Yes, because this is a show I have on Jewelry Television, and these pieces will be introduced. These are the debut items that are going to come on the 14th and 15th
Oh, that's super
March.
cool.
So,
very cool.
yes.
Well, I know you have your own design firm, but I think a lot of people know you as the guy who designed for Matif for several years, right?
For many, many years, yeah.
And then you also, you designed for others too, right?
Oh,
Tiffany,
yes.
am I right? Mm-hmm. So how do you get a gig like that? Do you just like say one day, I'm going to become a jewelry designer and become one? Or do you, is there schooling? Is there, what do you do?
Well, you know, I was born in Paris, and in France you had to choose pretty early on what you wanted to do.
Okay.
It's a little bit different. And I went
So you were
to
like
art
14
school.
and you decided I'm going to do this?
Exactly.
Yeah?
Yes.
I can't imagine my life when I was 14 deciding I was going to do something.
It's very difficult, but in Europe we're kind of used to having to hurry up and make a decision, and it's not always easy because you want to change your mind.
Right.
So, but I was pretty much set on design. But then when I learned gemology and how to learn to identify gemstones, that's when I connected design and you know,
and
jewelry, and that's why I did that.
Ah, very cool.
But it's a whole lifetime. Me, I just do the drawings. You've got people that set the stones. You've got people that, you know, that sell the jewelry. There's all kinds of different areas.
There's a full production thing
right.
for this, right?
Yeah, but for me, it's really what my thing is to draw. I just draw everything by hand.
So I'm looking at these. These are beautiful. Are these like this one? This is like super sparkly. It's full of. Are these real diamonds?
No, this is actually CZ, like the sample I have here.
Oh,
and
so cubic zirconia.
Cubic zirconia, sterling silver, and 18-karat yellow gold over, and it's a beauty. And this actually features that special cut that I have, the Remy cut. And
Yeah, tell me about that. You were talking briefly. I didn't
Yeah.
get the full story on this, but you have a big version of it here.
Yes,
And
it's
the
right
Remy
here.
cut is it's a patented cut that you designed?
Yes, it is. And, you know, when I was a kid, I was admiring my great-grandmother's diamonds, and
Right.
they always had that look where they had a smaller table and a steeper crown, so the old European cuts. So I did, for the first time, I designed a stone that would have a European, let's say, top part, and the bottom part is modern brilliant cut, so that you have a very good light return. And
Oh,
that was
okay.
very important.
And you can actually patent the design like that.
Yeah,
That's
so it's really
very
kind of cool. And you see, this is an oversized, you know, stone, but all these stones are actually created like that.
They're all versions of a theme.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
very cool.
So you have them here in yellow gold over, in 18K over sterling. And you can tell when they start being larger, you can really tell that they have that really old European style.
Right, especially like this one here. And can you do that with any stone, any diamond, or does it have to be the CZ? Or
You could do that potentially. Well, that's how they used to cut the diamonds in the 19th century, and yes, it was done that way because they thought that all the light was coming from the facets of the crown, which are really the facets right around here, and that's why here. So basically, they had a smaller table and more room in the crown where all the reflections were coming from, and so that's what I mimicked.
Oh, very cool.
In this stone, yeah.
Very cool.
But it's a lot of fun.
And so what's this collection called? Is it just the new Remy collection, or what is it?
Well, it's actually 2 years old. It's
Okay.
a little bit over 2 years old on Jewelry Television, and it's called Remy Rotanier for Bella Luce. And Bella Luce on JTV is how they call their cubic zirconia collection.
Oh, okay.
They use the highest grade of diamond simulant in the industry, and that's why I was very interested in it.
Ah, very
That's
cool.
why I ended up doing it. I mean, when they asked me to design a collection for them, I was thrilled. We also have some...
I was admiring this here. This is bright red.
Isn't it? It's lab-created ruby. So, you know, you have the same components and the same properties, optical and physical, as a regular ruby, only it's a fraction of the price. So if you're on a budget, and that's why I was excited to come and see you today, because we do very well on Jewelry TV, but it's kind of nice to tell New Mexicans about it, because if you want to look like $1 million and you're on a budget,
Right.
tune in for the shows and check it out, because it's really beautiful.
Well, what are the shows?
Okay, so the shows are, the studios are actually in Tennessee, in Knoxville, Tennessee, but it's, of course, all over the country. So on your station, it's JTV, it's also on JTV.com. And if you have, I have it here, if you're on Comcast, it's going to be channel 79 or 123. Dish Network 83227, DirecTV 72313. So it's really reachable from anywhere.
And as I say, check your local listings.
Yes, of course.
But we've got these cool shoe pieces here. And I know that you're friends with Andrew Connors.
Yes.
You know Andrew.
Oh, yes.
And so you and Andrew, well, Andrew did the shoe show, which is called Killer Heels a while back. And he was telling me that inspired you, after you saw that show, to do these shoe pieces.
Yeah, they're really
And these
fun.
are, if we can, did these stand up here on this?
Well, some of them, they're like little sculptures, so they do stand up. Yes, and this I call silver heels. And
oh, there we go. That's a better photo. That's way better than anything we can do trying to hold these.
That's the Gaga, shoe. Isn't that fun?
Oh, the Lady Gaga shoe, of course.
Yeah, that's the the classic Marilyn, which is like the classic pump from the 50s.
And those look like earrings.
Yes, because we have them either as bracelet charms, pendants, or earrings. So that's
very cool.
Isn't that fun? That's a grouping of all the different ones we have. But they're a lot of fun, and you can find them on my Shopify store, which is the Remy design Shopify store.
So when you saw the Killer Heels exhibit, do you say, wow, I can do something with jewelry in this?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah?
It was very inspiring. The Albuquerque Museum brings the best shows,
Absolutely.
And it's so exciting. And so we ended up having these little beauties in the shop, and they did really well. And now they're traveling because as the show keeps traveling across the country, so my little shoes are sort of following,
Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool.
So this has been fun.
So what's the next steps for a jewelry designer? Once you design collections, once you work for people, where do you take your craft, and how do you keep growing as an artist?
Well, it's interesting for me because I'm also a painter, and I include the jewelry in my paintings. So there's always something going on. I teach jewelry design in different colleges in the country also. So between teaching, painting, the show on JTV, and doing special collections, I also do a lot of custom designs, and that to me is fascinating.
Like custom wedding rings,
yeah. I sit down with you, and whatever you can think of, I'll sketch it right in front of you.
Oh, very cool.
So it's always really fun.
I wouldn't even know where to begin. I'd have to look at a million different examples first, but these are all beautiful. What do you call this one? This one's like a flying saucer, by the way.
I know, isn't it? Like a satellite dish a little bit.
Right?
Well, I love this one because of how difficult it was technically to, it's like a light beam, and it was very, very difficult to do the baguettes sort of shooting down towards the center. And the detail work is unbelievable on these pieces. So if you really want to look good and you're on a budget, like I said, these are definitely something to consider.
Super fun and super sparkly. I love them. We'll have to get a bunch on my fingers. Given the chance, I'd be like Liberace with rings on every finger. But we'll be back in a couple of minutes in the Morning Brew with friends. In the meantime, I'm going to try on some of these.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what my ring size is.
9.5.
About a 9.5. All right.
I'll have you try one of my rings, and then we'll know for sure. Try this one on, we'll know for sure.
We'll be back in a couple of seconds in the Morning Brew.
Thank you.